What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dragon Destinations. My name is Drew Heath. I'm the director of athletics here at the school. Today, we have someone coming on very special. He's actually a former player of mine, played basketball for 1 year, also was an amazing badminton player for us, but he actually went on to do some incredible stuff we're very excited to talk to him about. He's actually the current rank, correct me if I'm wrong on this, the current strongest American teenager for his weight class right now. We have Xavier McDougal. Xavier, what's up, man?
That is you were right with that. Yeah. It's not the most popular weight category, but it's one of the heavier ones, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Awesome, man. I am super proud of you. When I saw you post about it, I was like, oh, we got to get this guy on to talk to him about it. So yeah, first and foremost, how did you get into the strongman competitions and how did that all start?
Yeah. I mean, it started in Ireland. So I mean, I've been working out and like lifting ever since being at Drew, but like when I got to Ireland, I joined this powerlifting club. I had no interest in doing powerlifting, but they had knew some people that were in strongman. So I contacted them and I started training random strongman movements at this gym I found. It had like a log press, which is like this weird bar that you have to shoulder and then press above you. It had some sandbags, some heavy sandbags. And then one day, some dude, this guy who was competing in strongman saw me very, very poorly log pressing and was like, "I gotta help this kid. He's this like lanky looking kid. I mean, I was lankier back then. He's this lanky looking kid who is gonna hurt himself if he doesn't get some actual help with this." So then he started sort of coaching me and helping me program things. And then I first competed. I think it was like February of my freshman year of college. And then I've been going through with it ever since.
Nice. No, that is awesome, dude. Um, I guess are there any aspects of your team sport background that helped out with your strongman competitions?
I mean, like the obvious one is I was in pretty good shape. Like that the I played like basketball the throughout my high school year. You only knew me the last year because I was absolutely terrible at basketball. So I only made varsity senior year. But it was you had to be in pretty good shape from that. And then even badminton, you had to like it was a lot more running, especially with the last year with Coach Yandas and Coach Singh, where
Hmm.
they were like serious coaches about it. And they so I was in really good shape from that. And then it was just sort of a the mentality of you can't give up on what you're doing, even if it's like tough. Like I remember coming in, if someone got there late for basketball, you'd run a suicide for every minute late they were. It was like you can't just not do that. So it was the same
Right.
thing with strongman. Even if you're exhausted after like 6 hours of classes in a row or whatever, you still had to go and show up. And I think it was the most valuable part was definitely just you had to be a bit gritty for the team sports. So it really carried over pretty well.
Nice. No, and we yeah, we still have those late penalties for the game. So
That's good. That's good.
yeah, yeah, guys are still running occasionally. Um, what is one thing people may not realize about competing in the strongman competitions that may be something that most of the competitors are like a regular thing for you guys?
I mean, I think people don't realize how much cardio you have to do for strongman. Like
Mm,
people look at a strongman like, oh, they're supposed to just be big and can't move very well, and like they're supposed to just lift giant weights. But like even some of the competitors don't like the newer ones, when you're first getting into it, you don't realize that you gotta do so much moving with heavy stuff that if you aren't in good shape as is, or if you aren't like trying to get in pretty good shape for it, you're gonna get sort of dog walked like there's a lot of people that come from a place of, oh, I'm big and strong and I want to do strongman because that's all I need. But it's like you have to move so much. It's kind of a pain in the butt because I thought I'd just be able to go in there and be somewhat athletic and be fine, coming from team sports. But it's like the athleticism is completely different because it's instead of just being able to run back and forth, you got to be able to pick stuff up and like you got to be both strong and quick with it, which
mhm.
was unexpected to me at least when I started. Even though I'd done a lot of research into the movements and everything like that, I thought it was only brute strength. No, you it's way more moving than I wanted it to be initially, but it's a lot of fun that way.
Yeah. And then I guess kind of on that note, which I'm sure most people are curious about, what are your strongest lifts?
I mean, I can't really judge it too well. Because every time I hit a new benchmark in my lifting, I'm like, well, I got to reach for the next thing. Like recently, not recently, I hit a 550 pound deadlift in my last heavy deadlift comp, and as soon as I hit that, like that was a big goal of mine for a while. And then as soon as I hit that, I'm like, all right, it doesn't matter, I got to get 600 now. So like even it might sound cool, it might like 550 might be a pretty high number, but it's like in my brain, I don't think of it like that. I think of it as the next coolest thing. I'd say so that the deadlift is pretty cool. I'd say my other strongest lifts. There's this thing called a. Have you ever heard of yoke? Like a yoke carry.
Mm-mm.
It's basically where you have like this big frame on your back and you got to walk with it.
Okay, yes.
Um,
Yep, yep.
so in the same comp, we had to walk with 660 pounds. We had to walk 100 feet, and I did that in 30 seconds or so.
Oof.
Um, I'm pretty good. I got pretty good grip strength. I got pretty good grip strength too. I got pretty lucky with large palms, so like
Mhm.
I found that pretty easy. There's another thing, farmers carry. I'd say the one I'm most proud of coming along is farmers carry, where it's like you have to hold just two handles in your hand and you have to walk with them. Again, it's a lot of movement. And I could do what was it? It was a 275 pounds per hand, and I walked with that for I don't know 130 feet.
275 per hand?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that was I think that was the one I'm most proud of, honestly.
Yeah, that is very impressive, sir. Oh boy. How long do you plan on competing? Like, do you see this going for a very long time, or have you won it and you're like, I'm out? What's the
No,
plan?
I honestly just want to see where it takes me. Like I'm planning on competing as long as I can, basically, as long as I feel like it's still healthy for me and good for me. Because like obviously to be a strongman, you have to put on a lot of size. Like I've gained a lot of weight to do the sport at a higher level. So it's not going to be a permanent thing. I'm hopefully not going to do this when I'm 70. But for like the next decade or so, I definitely want to just train hard and eat hard and see where it takes me and maybe I can do some really cool things. Maybe I can't, but it's more fun to try and fail than not try at all.
Exactly. No, I love that mentality. And yeah, I think with this or any sport, there's a short window we have to be able to put our body to push the limits. So yeah, man, just ride that wave out. Well, you kind of mentioned it earlier. You are studying abroad and you have that whole experience. So what has that experience been like, just going to college and university in a completely different country?
I've been a huge fan. Like I couldn't recommend it more honestly. Um, I've because everyone you meet there is from different parts of the country. My best friend that I share a flat with is from New Jersey. Obviously, it's kind of bad associating with people from New Jersey. They're a little funky, but he's great. A lot of my good friends are Irish. A lot of my good friends are from all over Europe. Like it's you meet so many cool people. And it's like you get to live abroad, which is so many people look forward to doing study abroad, which is for a semester. But then living abroad, like I've had opportunities. I've been able to travel really cheap and really easily. Like I went to Italy for in year one, and my flights were $40 for there and back. It
Oh wow.
was it was incredible. Like it
Yeah.
was so like the opportunity to just do that super easily while also studying at a pretty good college is amazing. Um, it is far, so like if you don't if you want to sort of have that sort of time to talk with people at home that you're really close to, it's a little tough because the time zone difference. But I mean, you make great connections anyways, and I mean, I've really enjoyed it. I can't really think of anything bad about it.
Nice. No, no. I had the opportunity to live in China for a few years for playing basketball, and I think um, it's the same. Like you were saying, you get to travel a lot cheaper. The friends you meet, the connections you make, it's a very unique experience. So I'm ecstatic to hear that you're doing this and enjoying it. Um, last two questions I got for you. The first, what is one of your favorite memories from playing sports at Druk? Be any sport, any year, but what's one or two things that kind of stick out in your mind?
There were when I looked at that, there were sort of two memories that stuck out of my mind. Sorry. The first one was like freshman year. So you might not know this. Freshman year, I did cross country for the first sport, like the fall sport.
Yep.
I was the least athletic cross country person in the entire probably country by the end of that trimester. I think I remember my last race after training hard the entire time. My last race, I might have broke a 32-minute 5K.
Hey, hey,
which is terrible.
you
Which
finished though. You
is
finished.
so bad. I finished, but I think there was one race where we had to drive on a big old bus out somewhere in Central California. It was hot as I was going to say hot. It was very hot. Um, but it was very hot, and I was doing my 5K in the JV division, going slow. And at that point, all the other slow guys had sort of quit their teams. Like it was mainly just me at the very back of the pack. And I remember sort of as a little freshman I was tottering back towards the finish line, like 150 meters out. I think at that point I was sort of crying because it was just miserable. It was just awful. One of the worst experiences ever. Running like 90-degree heat for like in a 5K. It was terrible. But then I remember seeing there was like six of my other cross country teammates. They still had the race to do, but they ran out and ran me in the last 150
Oh, that's
meters.
awesome.
And I was still crying the entire time, but it was that community was just amazing.
Yeah.
Seeing them support me, like they were cheering for me, even though I was by a mile the loser of that race. They were still happy that I finished and all that. That was just probably one of the best sports experiences I've had. I gotta give that one for sure. Um, and then the other one was kind of an opposite experience. The other one was in senior year for badminton. I was pretty good at badminton. I still play in college, but I was sort of better as a high schooler than I am now. We had a sort of a rivalry with international.
Mhm.
It was only for badminton. I don't know if we have a rivalry for really anything else, but we really wanted to beat them for. And I played mixed doubles with a freshman named Evelyn. I think she's still going. Drew.
She's still going. I'll let you finish your story, then I'll tell you what she's up to. Yeah.
So we were playing mixed doubles. She was a freshman. It was her first time playing badminton. Um, and mixed doubles always goes at the very end, and it was sort of tied. Like, do you know how the badminton structure works? Where it's like there's 9 teams, and based on whichever teams win, it's sort of the school wins against the other team,
Yeah.
like school's team. So there were 9 teams. Mixed doubles always goes last. So me and Evelyn were the only two doubles pair playing. Um, and it was like 4-4. It was tied 4-4, and Evelyn, being a freshman, started playing out of her absolute mind. I remember, and we ended up winning in like the third set and like the tiebreaker set.
Yeah.
And then the similar story where everyone was like super 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 pumped because we
Yeah.
we beat International
Yeah.
at home. This was at Drew, so we beat them in Booker T. Um, and it was like such a strong community moment because even though some people hadn't played a match because they weren't on one of the official teams, they were still super pumped because we beat them. And it was like,
Yeah.
and I got to be a part of that, and I got to be part of the bringing everyone together and having that joyful moment.
That is awesome to hear. I was not aware of that story. You're going to be excited to hear Evelyn and her new mixed doubles partner just won the BCL conference this past year. Uh,
Wait, like the full thing?
yeah, yeah.
That's insane.
So, she's in her senior year now.
Hmm.
But yeah, posed to hopefully repeat as the mixed double
That's
best.
so cool.
So
That's
it
really
probably
cool.
started with that story. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah,
Um,
that's crazy.
yeah. And then last one, if go back in time or just think back, if you were an eighth grader looking to go to a high school in San Francisco, why would you choose Drew School?
Yeah. I think the answer to this one felt sort of obvious when I was looking at the questions. Um, I can only talk about it from my experience as someone who's a terrible athlete, but I would say if you're interested in doing any sort of sports, um, Drew will not give up on you. No matter how bad of an athlete you may be going into it, Drew will try to push you to be the best you can become. And even though I nowhere else probably would I have made the cross country team, I was still able to push myself and train with them and run those races and even though I was a terrible basketball player, because I worked hard during the seasons, I got really good shape, and I wouldn't have had those opportunities if you guys saw how bad of shape I was in and how bad of a basketball player I was, and been like, we can't let him on. You just sort of accepted that I was starting at a pretty low point and pushed me to become better, and then I became better, and it was. I would say if you want an experience that's gonna improve you and improve your sort of a belief in yourself. There's no better place that can do that really than real.
Awesome. Xavier, that was an amazing answer. Man, I am so proud of you. It's been awesome to just keep in touch and like see what you're accomplishing. I know everyone here at the school is super proud of you too. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep it up. It's awesome to see. For everybody else, this has been Dragon Destinations. We'll see you guys later. See you.